cultivating the inner conditions for well-being, and about mind training and brain plasticity. So first of all, why mind training? Because we train our body to be healthy, but we don't really value mind training as such. We think that if we gather all the outer conditions for happiness, just as wealth, health, education, and all kinds of things, having the food and protection from fear and so forth, we'll be happy. But in fact, we could be, even in a little paradise, we can be completely depressed and broken within. And also it is known that even the circumstances might be difficult. And we might actually preserve inner strength, inner joy, and serenity. So although the outer circumstances are important, yet the mind is stronger than that. So now what are our inner conditions for happiness? It seems, if we look within, that there are things like hatred, jealousy, excessive desire, arrogance that are toxic to our inner well-being and also toxic to others' well-being. So now we can remedy to that with antidotes, loving kindness for hatred, inner freedom to jealousy and so forth. So also, if instead of looking at the object that triggers the anger and that keeps on triggering again and again, we look at anger itself, there's a tendency to disappear. So that's the basis of mental training. And so, of course, it's difficult to explain that because that's what people that contemplative might do for years and years. And so in few words, hard to explain, but it's mostly becoming more aware of the way the mind works. Now, how it does relate to modern science, cognitive sciences? Well, the idea is, if you have a musician that plays 10,000 hours of violin, and you find that in the brain there are certain areas which are stimulated, the activity is increased, there might be more synaptic connections, more neurons, and so forth. So what about cultivating human qualities like loving kindness, compassion, patience, lack of fear, and so forth? So now recently we brought to the best labs in the world in terms of brain imagery, meditators who have done between 10 to 40,000 hours of meditation over 10 to 40 years. So what happens, and it seems that the preliminary results, which will be published later this year or the next year, is that when you ask them to meditate on compassion, for instance, it activates in the incredible way some areas of the brain connected with positive affect, altruism, joy, and so forth, like the left prefrontal cortex. And even you ask untrained people who just tried that for a week, there's absolutely no difference between a neutral state and the state where you ask them to generate compassion. So it points out that mind training does deeply change your mind. And meditation is not just like blissing out under a tree and feeling good or relaxed for the day. It is really a process of deep transformation of your way of being, and then you see the traces of that in deep changes in the brain. So it's a kind of rehabilitation of the importance of mental training. Mental training is not just luxury. You can play the piano, it's great. If you don't play the piano, it's not a drama. But if you don't know how to deal with afflictive emotions, if you don't know to free yourself from the tormenting effect of certain mental states, and then it's a lot of trouble for your life. And so the way to gain genuine well-being is through mind training, to changing your way of being, and then the way you deal with the arising of thoughts, emotions, the way you maintain your inner freedom. And so that's, I think, a very, very promising line of collaboration between contemplative and modern sciences. The Mind and Life Institute has been created 15 years ago by Francisco Varela and Adam Engel to bring back the Dalai Lama and different kinds of scientists. In the beginning it was just an intellectual meeting, but now it became something also that has to do with research and at the highest level. In the past there was flaky meditation with flaky science. Now you have got some of the best neuroscientists in the world working in collaboration with meditators who have done that for many, many years. So it's a very exciting and promising adventure.